Good morning. Welcome to Walking Slowly Downhill. Some more stories from the walk I undertook in 2015 down the Murray River. Today this is an account of the 62nd day, Hunter Road, further towards Mannum. This morning I'm thinking about mannum, not Pythagorean, and what its name might mean. I will end my walk today only 10 kilometres north of the town, and tomorrow I will walk through and past it towards Murray Bridge. I stop for a drink and I look it up. The Adelaide News Guide to South Australian place names says it's from the Aboriginal word mannum, whose meaning is not clear. As I repeat this in my mind, this morning I've decided not to speak aloud to myself. Its meaning won't unbuckle itself from manna. This is the nourishing food the Hebrews fleeing Egyptian chariots saw drop from the sky, just in time to revive their flagging bodies and spirits. My mother used the word often to describe the sudden and unexpected appearance of her object of desire, be it a turn in fortunes, the sound of a favourite song, or sitting at last in front of a steaming plate of pasta, often one she had prepared herself. All these various kinds of manna revive body and spirit, essentially meaning to live again, or at least in a newly energised way. I was a passenger in one of a number of vehicles that the ferry took across the river this morning, and so I remained anonymous. It allowed me to observe the simple, easy way my friend from Pythagorean related to other passengers. Boats leave and arrive at the long concrete Pythagorean pier all the time, to and from Turkey, to and from other islands, and even to and from Piraeus. This current crossing measures roughly 100 metres across, relatively calm and shallow water, and is guided by steel cables. It cannot be compared to the often tempestuously wild and treacherously deep Aegean. Its rocky depths are jammed with the evidence of thousands of years of failed arrivals. But even so, the calm dignity garnered by all of the generations that have bridged the millennia is etched in his face as he reassures and guides his passengers through the numerous daily repetitions of such a simple crossing, never failing to wave a goodbye or nod a greeting. Most of us now here in this most earthly of lands are late arrivals. Consequently, we're guests, and some of us remain more dignified than others. As my car dawdles past, he recognises my face. He opens his eyes wide and flashes me an easy smile. I spy him in the passenger side mirror, holding his hand up for an extra second, his gaze lingering with arms on hips as my vehicle leaves him behind. He's wondering, I'm sure, how this particular geometry has allowed our lives to brush past each other beyond calculations and logic, to where the mathematics of it all sings in a pure and untrammeled voice. "63rd day, Burdett Road, towards Murray Bridge. Yesterday, late in the afternoon, I suddenly decided to walk the last 10 kilometres to Mannum, so that first thing today I could walk directly out of town towards Murray Bridge. The evening southeasterly was cool and brisk and blew directly into my face until dusk, when everything became still. Walking in the evening allows one to experience the world in an entirely different way from how it might appear in the morning. As the light fades, everything begins to shut down. Distant kitchen lights are turned on and flicker tremulously through the screens of wind-blown vegetation. Work socks fall on carpeted floors and shower steam while refrigerator doors are held open, their interiors inspected for what seems like an eternity as the contents are mentally reconfigured into what might passably constitute a meal. Outside birds make nesting sounds as they chatter to each other high in the foliage and at times deep inside the heart of roadside thickets. The fragrance of damp grass rises from the fields and the sky takes on the most unlikely hues and tones. So this evening I walked resolutely into the increasingly colder wind until I saw the twinkling lights of Mannum gathered below me inside the crook of one of the river's bends. The ferry was about to leave, so I hastened my step, climbed on board and walked directly to its square prow, from whose vantage point I watched the darkened water ripple up and over the lip of its leading lower deck, all the way to the landing platform on the other side of the bank. This morning I set out on the road to Murray Bridge. Steve accompanied me for a few kilometres to a crossroad and then turned back for home. It's different walking with company. It makes for a sweeter, less epic pilgrimage and a more pleasant, rambling stroll. Once alone, I liked the way my legs refused to slow their rhythm, climbing steadily uphill, then maintaining the pace along the flat and eventually allowing the momentum I had earned to take my body down into the valleys. The thrill of the pilgrimage was soon once more in my nostrils. Linking the beat of my walking sticks with a slideshow of imagined random images, I wove my whole being together into a poultice of action and thought. Like albumin and yolk folded together, I then applied it to the skin of the space immediately preceding me, as if to give fair warning to whatever was ahead that I was coming, that it was me on my way, with all that I am and all that I can never be. How do those two containers intersect? All that one is and all that one can never be. Do they ever mingle or just meet at the frontier posts? Perhaps just meet and somehow draw up a truce, promising not to cross into the terrain of the other. Perhaps. Until tomorrow, for more readings.